Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another video. Today, I got a little bit of a different video for you guys. I'm going to be doing my all-time Call of Duty tier list. I've seen this done on YouTube a lot, as I'm sure many of you have. I always think it's a really good way to spark a debate about Call of Duty and just sort of see for myself too, where I don't know exactly where I'm putting everything right away, and I'm going to be interested to see where it is at the end, and I might move some things around at the end depending on how it looks. One thing about this I'm going to pay attention to is when I've seen some people make these lists, they get a little persuaded by the nostalgia or what the popular opinion might be. I'm going to be doing this list strictly based off what I think. So many of you probably are not going to agree with me. I might put one of your favorites lower. I might put one of your least favorites higher. This is all just my opinion and based on my experience. And I'm going to be basing this on public matches, competitive, which some of you might not watch, and just sort of the memories I have of this game in general. So even the way I'm doing this might be a little different, but we'll just sort of see what we got. Alrighty, so we're gonna get started here, and the first thing I'm gonna do is get some put in this bottom section called "Did Not Play." Most of these are all self-explanatory. Never played them. One of them I'll have to explain to a little bit more detail though. So we'll start with Call of Duty 2. Didn't play. Call of Duty 3. Where are you? Did not play. The original Call of Duty. I did not play. Okay, and also Call of Duty Mobile didn't play. So here's the one that's gonna need explaining, and I'm sure this is gonna make a lot of people gasp right off the bat, but before you freak out, let me go into this. So, first Call of Duty I ever played that I owned on my own was World at War on the Wii, and it was terrible. You had to aim the controller at the screen. You had the nunchuck, and it would always just show a red X, and the system was terrible. First person shooters, the Wii, it wasn't it. I was so bad. And then after World at War on the Wii, I went to COD 4 on the Wii, so I went backwards. I don't even remember what year it was, but neither of those were the games that were out at the time. So Modern Warfare 2 came before Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 1 was the first game I played on Xbox 360 on a system I owned like for the full year. So I played Modern Warfare 2 a little bit after its prime, like years after I bought the game. I'd watched friends play it. I played like a little bit of like 1v1 Rust sniping, but I just don't feel like I can give an accurate description because I didn't play the game during its prime, or else I'm sure it'd be way up there. So let's just move past that one. We'll just go in order. COD 4. Oh, right off the bat. I'm gonna put COD 4 in the B tier. Did I play COD 4 originally right when it came out? No, but I played it between COD 4 Remastered, between COD 4 on the Wii, and when I bought it to play it back on the 360. I've definitely played it enough. I love the maps. I love the guns. Obviously, this is where score streaks came into play in Call of Duty history. When people think of the start of Call of Duty's prime, it's COD 4. So I think B is a fair spot for me to put it. I definitely think it wasn't perfect. Some of the maps I don't think would have flown by today. I think it gets viewed a little bit by nostalgia. Definitely a great game. I'll keep it in B. Hot take number one, World at War. I have A, better than COD 4. Connection wise, it was a little iffy. Uh, there was some weird stuff with it where like the MP40 with I think it was stopping power, whatever made your gun stronger was totally OP and basically was if you got to use that gun, you had to use that gun. But this is where zombies came out. I'm taking that into play. I loved the maps, even maps that were not iconic, like Cliffside. I loved them. I love the look of just the old style guns. I love the simple things like the voice of the guy who would talk to you during the game where like you got to score streaks or stuff. This is obviously my where zombies came from, and it was still to this day my favorite zombies. I love the basic zombies. Oh, that first map was just iconic. So I will put that in A tier. Black Ops 1, no question, everybody. This is S tier. This is my probably my second favorite Call of Duty of all time. It's the one I have the most best memories of. This is where I first played Call of Duty for my first time, and I first started playing video games with my best friends that I still play with to this day. Maps were great. Search and Destroy was great. The FAMAS was definitely the best gun, but there were so many usable guns that were amazing to use as well. And there were some funny things you could do with like the ballistic knife and the crossbow, and they had the motion sensor. Like even the bad maps were like Havana might have been the worst map in the original Black Ops 1. It was still so good. I love that map. And I have so many memories of using the L96 and quick scoping with my friends, and I just think this is one of the best CODs they ever put out. It's not perfect. There was an issue with how hard sniping was for a lot of people. It took a while to die in this game, which personally is something that I like is a long time to kill. I'm gonna put it in S. It's some of the best memories I have of my entire life. MW3, feel like old me would have put this in the F tier, but I'm gonna put it in the D tier. So I played this game. I got this at the midnight release. This came after Black Ops 1, and I was so excited. And I started playing it. And after about a week or two, I was like, this ain't it. And I think I was too hard on it at the time because what it comes down to is I wasn't ready to stop playing Black Ops 1. I actually played Black Ops 1 for a whole nother year instead of MW3. And I just loved that game so much. So I don't have a ton of negative or positive things to say about MW3. I just think it wasn't even close to Black Ops 1. Looking back, I was probably a little harder on it than I would have been if it had it came out today. But I'm gonna put it in D tier for myself. Okay, what do we got? Let me scroll down for a bit. Black Ops 2. So reminder, I'm gonna be using the S and F tier as no doubters. It has to be this is the best a Call of Duty can be, or this is the worst a Call of Duty can be. So I really want to put Black Ops 2 in S, but I'm going to have to put it one below in A just because it doesn't stack up quite to my top two. It's number three. If it was like, if it I was actually done in order, it would be right here. But League Play was amazing. That's when League Play came out. This is when I first started watching competitive. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about competitive a little bit for those of you, you might not be into it, but competitive is going to play a part. The maps were amazing. So many usable guns. This was the best thing about Black Ops 2 was content creation. This was the best for YouTube for funny moments. This was like the main game of YouTubers back then, it felt like. And a lot of that was because of theater mode. People still go back and play this game today. It came with like people, I still see people make like Black Ops 2 gun game videos. I love Black Ops 2. I just don't think I can quite put it on the tier of my top two. And I can't even bring myself to say anything negative about it. Like, really, it's just third on my list and not quite as good as the other two. So this is one I almost don't want to do, but I played it for a month now, and I feel like that's pretty fair. I obviously enjoy playing this game a decent amount if I'm putting it on YouTube, but I'm gonna put this either C or D, and I'm gonna put it in D. A big issue I have with this game is the attachments, how many attachments there are, and how many are terrible. They should just do the pick 10 system. Weapon tuning is weird. My biggest gripe about this game is there are no iconic maps at all. None of these maps are going to be remembered. Some are okay, but some are terrible, and most of them are just bleh, forgettable. Which is almost the worst thing you can be is forgettable. Like at least the worst maps ever. Like people are going to be making fun of that car map for years. But other than that, these maps are just completely forgettable, and I won't remember their names once I'm done playing. I do like the gunplay. I do enjoy pubs in this game. I really have an issue with the dead silence not being a perk and instead being a field upgrade. I despise that. It's just there's so much sound whoring in this game that it's frustrating, but I love doing this for YouTube and I love playing pubs, but game battles I don't like. I haven't enjoyed watching competitive yet, even though I'm going to get into it. So D for now, subject to change, but I'll leave that there for now. And then it's, I guess, older brother, Modern Warfare 2019 F. I think this game is worse. Maybe the maps were a little bit better, but I know it's the same system. Uh, but I just hated this game. I played it for maybe a month. Competitive was 5 on 5, which is probably why I view it a little bit less than what it is now. Which I 5v5 competitive COD is one of the worst decisions they ever made. It made it play so weird, and it's where I pretty much stopped watching competitive COD for a couple years. So I'm just gonna leave that in F. Did not enjoy it. And joining it in F, my least favorite Call of Duty of all time, Infinite Warfare. I hated this game. This was basically the worst version you could have done of like an advanced warfare. This was at its worst what futuristic COD could be. There were like laser guns, there were like these stupid variants. I played this game for 3 days and quit. I think I put one YouTube video up for this and I quit. This came after I think Black Ops 3. Yeah, it was after Black Ops 3, which is spoiler alert, it's going to be really high up my list and where I did all of my YouTube videos. So to go from one of the best to one of the worst also doesn't help its case, but I think this game is just an F no matter what. Some of these I'm going to go through a little bit quicker. Vanguard, I'm going to put in D. I actually didn't mind pubs in this game. I probably played like 6 or 7 days by myself. Still not a lot of memories, and none of my friends played this game that much, so I probably would have played more pubs had it been if I had more people to play with, but didn't watch competitive at all. Didn't really like this game. Warzone, I'm also going to put in D. Probably another hot take of mine, but I preferred Blackout over Warzone a lot. It seems like that's been coming around a little bit, but I was like right when Warzone was at its most popular. I never really enjoyed it. I never really got into it. I don't like the loadout system. Part of the fun for Blackout for me was having to find a gun and be good with many guns. The one thing I love about Warzone is it is fun to watch, and clearly Call of Duty has done something with it. It's the most popular Call of Duty has ever been. It's the most they've integrated Call of Duty into the casual eye. Obviously, everyone knows what Call of Duty is, but so many people started playing Warzone that had really not even played video games or Call of Duty before. So it has my respect in that point. But in terms of how much I play and how much fun I have with it, I'm just gonna leave it a D. World War II. I want to put this in F, but it's not decisive enough. I'm gonna put it in D. I probably played this game for a couple months. I was so excited about going back to an old school COD. I don't remember if this is the one that came after Infinite Warfare. I believe it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, but it just fumbled the bag. It was so dull. It was so gross to look at. Some of the maps were fine. I really didn't think the gunplay was good. I think it was like the bar and the PPSH. There weren't a lot of good guns. I quit watching competitive in this game. I did not enjoy this game at all, and I thought it had so much potential. Call of Duty Ghosts. This to me is the definition of C tier. And I'm going to have to go into a little bit of a deep dive for this one. If this was pubs, it would be an F. For competitive, this would probably be an A. So I'm very split on this game. I loved Search and Destroy competitive in this game. I loved Search. I liked Domination and Blitz. I loved the maps they used in competitive mode. One of the worst pubs maps ever, or pubs games, excuse me, ever. The maps were terrible. There was like Stonehaven, there was like Crisis, there was Siege. I'm trying to remember all these names. There was what was the one? I forget. There was like a underwater. It was like it would have an earthquake. That might be two maps. There were so many bad maps. This might have bad the most horrible maps in the history of Call of Duty, and this is kind of where people consider the end of the highlight of Call of Duty, the prime of Call of Duty. Most people I think would consider from Call of Duty 4 to Black Ops 2, and this came after Black Ops 2, a huge success, and that's another thing that hurt it. So I'm gonna put it in C. Cold War, I'm also gonna put in C. Uh, I had a lot of fun playing ranked play with my friend in this game. Pubs was okay. Probably Pubs would be like a D, and competitive would be a B. So I'll put it in the middle. I don't have a lot of great memories about this game. But I definitely played a decent amount, so I'll put it in C. Advanced Warfare, I'm gonna put in B. I almost want to put it in A because, but I feel like that would be a little bit too much of looking back on it with a different eye. Like people were like, it actually wasn't that bad, and it wasn't. But at the time, if you remember, it was a very polarizing game. This was the introduction of the exosuits and the movement, and people either hated it or loved it. I feel like more people hated it. Pubs was okay. Pubs would probably be a C in this. Competitive would probably be an A or even an S. I loved it. And this is where I started making YouTube videos. And I definitely prefer boots on the ground COD. But if done right, I think there is a way to do it. And Advanced Warfare is a good way to do it. Looking back, I was probably too hard on the game. Uh, I miss it. I wouldn't mind an Advanced Warfare 2. Again, I would prefer boots on the ground done right, but I would very much welcome an Advanced Warfare. A couple bad things about the game: the supply drop system was obviously fun, but the way there were like weapon variants in it was not good. The movement was weird. Like I got a lot more kills with it because I could put myself in better situations, but it was like a little clunky to be honest with Advanced Warfare movement. They were trying to figure it out. So we'll leave that in B. We're gonna go Black Ops 4. Hmm. Another weird one. I'm gonna put this in C, and I'm gonna have to explain myself a little bit again. If this was pubs, it'd be F. I quit this game very soon. If it was just for Blackout, I would put it in S. I love Blackout. Blackout is some of my best memories in Call of Duty with my friends, but I have to take this game to me as a whole for what I played and experienced, so I'll put it in C. I loved part of it, and I hated the other part of it. And the last one, last but not least, everybody, if you've ever watched this channel, you probably know where this is going. S. My favorite Call of Duty of all time, Black Ops 3. I think I played like 30 days on this for pubs. It was perfect. To me, this is the perfect Call of Duty. Uh, this is the best example of movement when you make it not boots on the ground, done perfectly well. I love the wall running. I loved the jumping. There was a point when the G slide was in it. That was fun. So many usable guns. So many. Almost every single gun I could use and go off with. I loved the score streaks. The maps were fantastic. Even maps that I forget the names of, I see a picture and I'm like, Wow, I had a lot of memories of this game on this map. And this isn't where I started my YouTube channel. That was Advanced Warfare, but Black Ops 3 was made me fall in love with making videos, and I miss it every day. I wish I could just play Black Ops 3 and it was the most popular game for the rest of my life, but final look, everybody, the ones I didn't play and everything in between, I think that's pretty solid. If you look at this list, I would consider myself a pretty hard critic. You might look at this list and be like, boy, does he even like Call of Duty that much? But I do. I'm just also a hard critic, and I use that S and F tier, like I said, to the most extremes. So I could probably bump up Black Ops 2, and I could probably bump down like Vanguard or like World War II or something. But I think this is the most accurate list you guys are going to find for myself. Like I said, let me know in the comments below what you agree, what you disagree with. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. If you guys want more tier lists in the future, I will definitely do that. I want it to kind of have to do with Call of Duty, so maybe I'll have to get creative with that. Thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you all later.